We move now to Washington and the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration and the new challenge to the Supreme Court following a temporary pause on some deportations. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang joins us with the latest. Selena, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. This is a showdown between the White House and the Supreme Court, with the justices making their decision at rapid speed after the ACLU argued that the administration was trying to rush migrants onto plane and send them to a notorious prison in El Salvador without sufficient due process.
This morning, the Trump administration now asking the Supreme Court to roll back its decision to block the deportation of a group of Venezuelan migrants being held at a detention center in Texas under the Alien Enemies Act, a centuries-old wartime law that provides little or no due process. That extraordinary order coming from the highest court shortly after midnight Saturday, just hours after the ACLU raced to file an emergency appeal. The ACLU's lead attorney telling me that migrants received this notice and were told they'd be removed in 12 to 24 hours. The notice says, under the Alien Enemies Act, you have been determined to be an alien enemy subject to apprehension, restraint, and removal from the United States.
We're talking about the administration hurrying people to the plane to send them to the Salvadoran prison without any due process whatsoever.
Among the migrants at that Texas detention center, Jose Gregorio Caldera Perez, seen in this video shared with ABC News, speaking to his girlfriend from the facility on Thursday before the court's ruling. He says there are a lot of us, and every minute more and more Venezuelans keep coming. The majority are Venezuelans. Another man in a jumpsuit seen holding up a piece of paper he says they allegedly have to sign and that they do not know where they might be going. ABC News has reached out to DHS for comment. The paper says Venezuela, but others say it's to El Salvador, so please help us. Caldera Perez's girlfriend telling us he said the paper is only in English and hard to understand, adding that he claims he and a group of detainees were taken to an airport near the facility on Friday and told they were about to be deported. Then he told her once they arrived, an officer informed the group they were being sent back to the center and would not board the plane. Overnight, Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas releasing their dissent, calling the midnight order unprecedented and legally questionable relief. The Trump administration also arguing that the Supreme Court's block was premature and asking the justices to clarify that its order only stops them from deporting migrants under the Alien Enemies Act and not under other authorities. That's the same act invoked back in March to deport hundreds of Venezuelan migrants to the prison in El Salvador. Among them, Kilmar Abrigo Garcia, a father living in Maryland who was mistakenly sent back to his home country despite a court order barring the move.
He was traumatized by being at CCOT and fearful of many of the prisoners in other cell blocks.
The White House says they're confident they'll ultimately prevail against what they're calling meritless litigation. And it's also another busy week ahead for the Trump administration in the courts, with multiple hearings scheduled focused on the administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act. So in all of these legal cases, Janae, this legal battle is only beginning.
Certainly is. Selena Wang, thank you so much.